Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs,
And I'm David Woldingen.
and the two of us and my raccoon eyes of a sunburn are going to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals and what kind of lineup we might expect to see as opening day is almost here. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. All right, so with the Cardinals, no one's really quite sure what to make of them, and a lot of that has to do with the pitching. This video is not about pitching. So honestly, it's going to be a lot more optimistic because this lineup, David, if guys produce like they're capable, it's one of the best in baseball. It's filthy.
Yeah, and to be honest, when trying to predict my lineup, I had a really hard time placing quite a few guys. One, based off projected ability and possibilities coming out of there. And two, man, it's just hard because there's a lot of different combinations you can go with, and it's still going to be filthy.
Yeah. I think most of the mystery involves the outfield and who's playing on a given day, if they're going to do some sort of lefty or righty type matchup. You look at the infield, and a lot of it seems pretty set, I think. You're looking at Goldie and Arenado, probably going to be 3 and 4. Yeah. Why mess with a good thing, right? And you're looking at, this one, we actually disagree, and we'll get into the specifics. But Edman at shortstop, I think we're in agreement there. And we think he'll bat probably ninth, kind of in the second leadoff man. That's kind of honestly where a lot of the agreement and the clarity ends. For me, I think Brendan Donovan is going to be the starting second baseman and play most every day. But Dave, you got another idea here.
Yeah, I'm not writing Nolan Gorman off at all. He has the ability, he has the bat. He was one of the top prospects in our organization outside of Jordan Walker, who is with the club starting, which is awesome, by the way. That they're not trying to do another year of control or whatever you want to call it. But if he lives up to his potential, I mean, he can rank it too. And I think he has a higher upside than Donovan. Not saying anything bad about Donovan because he's a phenomenal at bat too.
Yeah, Donovan is going to be the better glove, but Nolan Gorman's bad. Yes, there's the strikeouts, but if he can at least contain the number of strikeouts, then the ceiling is very high. And we saw flashes of that last year.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't think about that you mentioned is the range of Donovan at second might earn him the starting spot to begin with because of the new shift rule. And I just now started thinking about that.
Yeah, that's a valid point. That is a very valid point.
So then it comes down to
player on the roster that benefits most from the shift rule.
Yeah. So then it will come down to, at that point, as you said, the outfield, who's playing where, and then who's going to be your DH. I think it's going to be a toss-up between even Gorman and Walker, depending on if Walker's actually playing in a game or if he's just DHing.
Yeah, and you look at the outfield, the one constant I think we're going to see more than anybody else, international sensation Lars Nootbaar. Yeah.
The pepper grinder.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he seems like the guy who is most likely to be out there every day. And that is a big part of that is the fact that he really turned it on second half of 2022. And so far, we're more than spring training. We're going off the World Baseball Classic. But there's also the dynamic of Dylan Carlson and Tyler O'Neill. Will they be healthy? Now, O'Neill has the history. There's not been any indications this season, really, of injury, but Dylan Carlson had, what they called arm fatigue. So, resting that arm, maybe they, maybe they platoon guys just to make sure that they're healthy. That's already kind of been inferred that Dylan Carlson will start the season in an outfield DH bench kind of role. So he's going to be all over the place, meaning you shouldn't expect Carlson every day. And you know who that clears room for to, get some reps.
Good old Walker. And
Absolutely.
let's not forget that Carlson was playing center, but it's looking like O'Neal's going to be heading a center spot, at least until they figure out what's going on with his arm. So,
yeah, and Lars Nootbaar played center for Japan. So you've got, and this is a good thing for the Cardinals, you have three at least outfielders who can play center. So with that, there is so much flexibility, and it could come down to lefty versus lefty or righty on the mound, or just riding the hot hand. You have a certain freedom to go ahead and give somebody a day off if they're in an 0 for 15 slump or something.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting to see how Ollie Marble handles all this. So, Eric, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into it and check out our projected lineups?
Honestly, I think we're going to see a lot of rotation, particularly early in the season. What we think, called a primary lineup. And for me, I've got Brendan Donovan leading off, followed by Lars Nootbaar, then Goldie and Arenado 3 and 4. Wilson Contreras, I think, is going to start the season batting 5th. Although if Jordan Walker goes nuts, he's more than capable of moving up and taking that 5th spot. I got him starting the season batting 6th. And then I'm going to go Tyler O'Neill batting 7th, and then Dylan Carlson batting 8th, and then Tommy Edman rounding it off in the 9th spot, kind of like your second leadoff man. Certainly not because he's the 9th best hitter. I think that'll be the primary lineup. It's what I would go with. And then maybe playing the matchups to get Nolan Gorman in there as your DH if there is a righty on the mound, or if Jordan Walker just gets himself into a rut. He's a rookie. You don't want to place too much pressure on him right off the bat, especially given all the hype around him. But this 1 through 9 is what I think is going to be the primary lineup for the first few weeks of the season.
All right. For my primary lineup, as you say, and I do have some interchangeable pieces going on in this one as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm starting out with Nootbaar, our leadoff hitter. He's shown in the World Baseball Classic that he's your kind of typical leadoff guy. He has the speed to get on the base, does what he needs to do, and quite honestly, he picked up right where he left off last year. And he's kind of your atypical leadoff guy, in my opinion. Then I put, and this is where my interchangeable stuff comes in, is Donovan or Gorman. I believe Donovan will be your primary second baseman, but I think Gorman's going to get a shot in there too. And they're probably going to stick with whoever has the hotter bat. After that, Goldschmidt, Arenado, not really a debate there. Unless you want to move Goldschmidt to number 2, but I don't. With who we have in this lineup, there's really no reason to mess with that.
I think there's too much power to do it.
Yeah. Then I put Contreras as our number 5. Just long-standing bat, good 5-hole hitter, if you will. And then from there, I have Tyler O'Neill. He was your primary 5 before that. I'm dropping him down to 6, take a little pressure off him. Then you have Jordan Walker at 7. And the only reason I have him at 7 is I want to ease him into this lineup. I don't want to throw him right into the heat of things. Let him get into the swing, and then we can look at moving him up or down or wherever he needs to go. And then from there, I have Carlson and Edman. I like you threw Edman at the end because he's like a second leadoff hitter. And I think that role fit him really well at the end of last season. I think he'll do a great job again in that spot.
Yeah, the long and short of it is, if guys produce like they are capable, this lineup is dangerous, and they might drag a suspect pitching staff across the finish line to a division title, honestly. It might be a different season than we're used to seeing out of the Cardinals, where the offense carries the team instead of pitching and defense.
This lineup is a straight up good old American League slugfest lineup, if you want to call it that, with the DH.
It very well could be.
Yeah. All I know is it's going to be fun to watch them all play, and it'll be interesting to see how the shift affects some of these players, especially the ones who like to pull to right field. You're going to have a harder time putting that shallow right field guy there to catch those balls. I think you're going to see a lot more drop down.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all we have for our projected lineup video, if you will. Keep watching. We'll have more as the season gets ready to start. Thank you for watching Under the Arc Sports.